Hey Wonder Girls, it's Wonder A here, and I brought you guys another special guest today. I have Luis here. Luis, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, of course. My name is Luis Arias. I'm currently studying computer science at UTEP. I've been working with a bunch of programs, and I came here to help out Andrea learn a couple new things.
Awesome. And Luis, I mean, you've never met the girls, but what do you think about the Wonder Girls, like the camp? Like whenever you hear the word Wonder Girls, what do you think of?
Well, I know that you guys are very smart. I know that you guys are innovative, and I know you guys are going to go very far. I've heard great things. I've never worked with you guys directly, but I've helped develop the camps over here in El Paso. So I kind of helped you guys in the background, but you guys never met me.
So Luis, what do you usually do with the camps, and like how old are you and stuff like that?
So I've been doing summer camps for the past 8 years. I started off as a student actually, and then I moved up to become a mentor. And mentor is kind of the one that we have here in El Paso, where it's high schoolers, helps out the instructors. And then I moved up to an instructor, and now I actually run summer camps here in El Paso in various places actually. So it's very interesting. I am currently 23. And I feel very, very young still.
So he actually has quite a bit of experience doing the camps, even though you girls might not have seen him yet. But the funny thing is that this is actually the first time in his 8 years of being in the camp doing this activity that we're gonna doing with you girls today. So he's gonna be learning as you girls learn as well. And then we'll see if his stuff ends up being an epic fail or an epic success. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna be working with Tinkercad. And can you tell us a little bit about that program, Luis?
Yes, of course. So Tinkercad is an app that it was able to be used in the web browser. So it's very easy for us to use. Usually before we used to teach students AutoCAD. AutoCAD was a program that we would download to the computer, and it would take a lot of space. So it was a little bit hard, and that's where I came from. That's my background. But it is a very hard program, but it's very, very fun. But Tinkercad is just as well, it works just as good, and it does have the innovative aspect of it. So it's very up to your imagination, if you could say. It is a very, very good application, so I think I'm really ready to go.
Yeah, so basically you girls can make anything, design anything, literally from a little ball to a whole house, a whole city on that system. So I'm really excited to see what Luis has set for us, what he's gonna be making for us. And then you girls are more than welcome to follow along. Definitely follow along whenever we're explaining how to use it and when we're exploring it. And then you girls are more than free to let your creativity run as soon as he starts building it, or you girls can help us build the house as well and then show off your houses to see how much better or how much worse they are than Luis's house. And then other than that, you girls can make castles, you girls can make anything that you set your imagination to. So let's get started, Luis.
Okay, so we'll start from the very beginning. So we'll go ahead and look up the application, which is Tinkercad. Alrighty, so now that we're in Tinkercad, we're going to be going ahead and logging in. So logging in is going to be required regardless once you start the application. This is just because they want to help you store your designs and things like that. So it's actually really, really helpful. So we'll go ahead and go join now.
So make sure you girls are following along with us, okay? And if you have any questions or anything, make sure you ask. Do not be afraid to ask your questions, just so that you girls don't get lost any step here. Because like he said, it is a really, really weird program, new program to you girls. So it's really exciting, and I really hope that you girls can like understand it and play with it.
Yes, of course. And then, so here, just like last time that we were doing the class, it's going to require an email. So please do, in case you don't have an email, please ask your parents to go ahead and help you create the account. So in this interior, we're going to create a personal account since we're not going to have, and then I'll go ahead and sign up with my email.
You girls can use the same email that you used for the last workshop that we did, which was the coding one.
So here I'm just putting some information. Not going to put my actual one, but you know, very close. So I'll go ahead and create it. The reason that we're creating an email, like I said, it's because this program wants to be able to help you keep track of things that you do. So let's say I'm working at something and then my internet goes out or anything, the actual design is gonna be saved there from the last thing that I worked.
Right, yeah.
So it's very, very important that we do go ahead and create the account.
Awesome, and make sure you girls remember your password once again. And make sure you girls are clicking on that I accept little button, okay?
Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and close this real quick because you don't need the tutorial. So this is the basic of what it looks like. So the Tinkercad has various aspects of it. So we do have 3D design, which is the one that we're gonna do, but there is a couple other things that they added. So the circuits part, which is really neat if you're kind of want to learn more about the circuits. I highly suggest this part. And then the newest one is code blocks. I haven't messed around with code blocks that well, but I've heard that very good things about it. So that's another thing that you guys could try. But for today, we're just gonna go ahead and do 3D designs. So once you're in 3D designs, we'll go ahead and create a new design. And this is what it's gonna look like eventually at the beginning of it. So this right here is just the work plane that we have. Yeah. And the fabulous hobby.
So it gives you girls a name to your assignment already. It's on the top left corner, I believe. His clearly says fabulous Bobby or something like that. But you girls can just press on it to change the name in case you want to change it to something so that you girls know which project is which. So for this one, he named it Wonder Girls because awesome name, awesome girls, perfect name. So yeah, let's get started. And what did I say you were gonna do, Luis?
We're gonna be making a house, a very simple house, but it's just to go ahead and get you guys start thinking about it. Like I said, Tinkercad, you guys can do anything, but it does require a lot of imagination. So I'll show you guys a little bit of how it works. But like I said, do keep this in mind. If you guys get frustrated or something, please ask for help from your parents, because the parent help is gonna come in a lot of help. Like they will seriously be able to show you things that you didn't see, or they might be also looking at it from different perspectives. So that definitely could help your design. So that's a very cool thing.
Yeah, girls, remember that learning new things is always going to be frustrating because we don't know, we're only learning, but after you learn it, it's actually really awesome. Actually, last time that I was using Tinkercad in another camp, I made a SpongeBob, which was really, really cool. And I also made a Patrick.
So that should just give you guys an idea of how it's going to look. So first off, I'm going to go ahead and change the snap grid. This is just preference for me. I just like making it 5 real quick, just because it does make it a little bit bigger. So then after that, I'll go ahead and add a box. So as you guys can see, there's like different sets of boxes, right? So I'll be going ahead and putting I'll go ahead and do this one, just because I want you guys to be able to see what it looks like, a hollow shape.
So Luis, what is the snap grid?
Oh, the snap grid is essentially what it is right here in the work plane. So you see all these little squares right here?
Yeah.
So it says that's the amount of size that is in between each square.
Oh,
so
okay.
if you were to have them in 1 millimeter, there you go. Should update it. There you go. So in case I were to have it a lot smaller, that means the squares would be a lot smaller, and it will help me for a lot more details.
Oh,
So by me making it bigger, it does make the squares a little bit bigger, and it allows me to have a lot more space. Because I'm not doing a lot of details, so I don't need it to be that small.
Right. So then, girls, also whenever you drop down, it's a drag and a drop system as well, like the coding one. So basically, you just have to drag the shape that you want onto the playing field, and then you just drop it. And as soon as you drop it, it's gonna give you a little sidebar on the right, and that's just so that you can change the color, you can change the roundiness of it, the width, the length, and etc. So if you girls want to pause that video and then just mess around with it a little bit to get to know that part of the system, then you're more than welcome to.
Yeah, so like I said, this is the one that we're going to be working on. So I went ahead and clicked the box one. But the reason that I chose this one instead of the one that's solid is because I want to show you guys what it looks like when it's solid. So like Andrea said right now, you guys can go ahead and mess around with it. So it gives you a lot of things that you guys could. So let's say I want to change the radius, right? So I can go ahead and drag this down, and it starts turning into a circle because only circles have a radius. So the steps, the good thing about this program, it allows you to see what you're messing around with. So if you guys want to know, like maybe I don't understand what length means, Well, then go ahead and just mess around with it and it'll start showing you what it looks like. So I'll go ahead and put it back to what it was. 21, that's okay. And the width is the opposite. So it's a very good, nice program and it helps you know what it could do.
So I think we're just gonna go for a square house.
Yes.
The normal houses.
Yes, so now that we have it, so for me it's a lot easier to work using the corners. So there's a lot of various corners that you can see and it'll give you the dimensions. So for example, let's make it a little bit bigger, a little bit more rectangle-ish, you know, kind of like a house. So when you right click on the mouse, you can go ahead and go into freestyle. Freestyle means that you can go ahead and move it if you hold down the right button and you can just go ahead and see what it looks like. And if it's a little bit hard, that's fine. We have this little square that comes really in handy. So let's say I want to see the front of my house, right? I go ahead and click it and it'll show me the front of my house. But I have a little bit of hard time seeing. So I can just click on the upper area of the front house and it'll show me a little bit more different angle.
So the good thing about this program is because we're working with 3D, so 3D just means that, you know, it's gonna be in a different dimension, and this program shows you any dimensions through any little angle. So basically you can move it around and see how it would look from the back and the front. So make sure that when you girls are building stuff on it, that you girls are constantly checking those angles, because it might look good from the front, but then if you turn it, there could be some angles that are off, and then you'll see what I mean a little bit ahead.
Yes. So like Andrea said, like that happens all the time. So it's very important that you guys look at it from different angles and everything, because it might look just around the size here, but then suddenly when you look at it from a different angle, you notice that you're like way off, and that's okay. Yeah. It happens all the time. Andrea should know about that, right?
So Luis, can you press on the shape
yes,
once again? Because I saw something. So what are the black squares versus the white squares and the little triangle that's on the top, and then the arrows? I see a lot of stuff there.
Yes,
what is that?
Okay, of course. So let's go ahead and say I want to move one of the squares right here in the corner. So the corner, that means that it's going to be moving it in terms of width, and length. So if I were to click on it, it's going to move both of these two at the same time. So I can go ahead and start making it bigger, and it's moving both of them at the same time. But if I were to click on one of the black squares right here on the side, that is only going to focus on that side, meaning I want to make the front of my house a lot bigger. I can move it, and only the front of it is moving.
Oh, okay.
And then we'll go ahead and move this arrow right here. So the shape in 3D, it's always going to be 360. That's always the normal thing. So this one's a little bit harder to explain, but I will go ahead and show you guys. So let's say I were to rotate the square, right? I can go ahead and move it, and it'll start moving in a certain angle. Certain degree, I apologize. So I can move it all the way into a 360, just like if it was a circle. But if I were to move the one up here, instead it's gonna rotate the box on
a different rotation.
Yes,
right?
on an x-axis.
Oh, okay, I see. Awesome. So we can basically just like lift up the rectangle that we have right here. We can just make it go this way, like this, using that arrow right there, or we can make it go this way, using that other arrow. So that's pretty cool.
And then the last one to see is this little cone. I don't know if you can see it. So this little cone is the one that's going to tell you, okay, if I were to click on that, it's going to be able to tell me, okay, we're going to move up the shape from the ground.
Oh, so that's how you lift it and how you put it down again. Awesome. So basically all of these little things serve a different purpose. So that's pretty cool.
And like I said, it's very, in case you don't know or you don't understand something, it's very good, this program, to teach you, okay, well, you can mess around with it however you want, and you'll start seeing what it does. So that's a very cool thing about it. Like I said earlier, like let's say I didn't know what the square did, I can just click it and it'll show it to me. So it doesn't require me to update it or anything. So it just shows me what it's gonna do. Okay, so now let's get this house started.
Awesome.
So like I said, I made the box just like this real quick, just because I wanted to see hollow. I'm gonna show you guys what it's gonna look like or how it shapes. So now we'll go ahead and click on an actual solid square. And well, I want this to be my front door, but this is a little bit too big. So we'll go ahead and start messing around with the stuff. So I want to decrease it for sure, right? I think 5 is pretty good. I want to move it from the side, right? Because I don't need it to be that long. So I have something very small. If I were to look at it from the side, it looks like nothing. But this is kind of what I want. So now I can decrease it a little bit more. And now that I have it like this, I can go ahead and drag it and then bring it into my square.
Well, Luis, but it looks kind of small. Can't you like zoom in or something?
Yes, of course. So in order to zoom in here, the best way is you have these little things right here.
Oh.
So you can go ahead and click the plus to go and zoom in more or zoom in less. Or the other trick that I like to do is if you have a mouse that has a little scroll, you can just move the scroll up and down and it'll zoom in for you.
Awesome.
And if you have a touchpad like I do, you can just do with 2 fingers, move it to the left and the right, and it'll zoom in.
Awesome.
So here, and you're right, like becomes very detailed. So right here, I can go ahead and see, okay, well, if I wanted to put it right there, and it's gonna go ahead and help you. So it identifies that I want it to be right next to or on top of the square. So I want to put it around center, but unfortunately, because of the size that I have the square, it might not actually have center point. Because I might have made the figure in a very odd number. You need to have it to be in an even number so it knows where the middle is.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. He's basically just saying that it's like we have a wood stick right here, and this is what our door looks like basically. And the width of our wood stick is on an even number, but whenever it's on even numbers, it's on an odd number, but whenever it's on odd numbers, the system can't really find the middle, and that's why you see the rectangle right there coming in between the house and the rectangle instead of coming out like a door usually does. And that's why we're gonna need an even number so that it can evenly distribute it. So we have 5 fingers right here, which is an odd. So if we put half of them down and the other half, we're gonna have 1 finger left over, and that's not gonna be good for us. So it's the same thing. But if we have 4 fingers, then we have a final middle right here.
Alright, so just like you said, that's exactly what we did. And another neat trick that I found out when I was messing around with this program, just like Inaudidoes, you can go ahead and click on the number here. So let's say, here, I'll demonstrate. So let's say I have the square right here, right? And I don't really want it to be there. I want to move it back, and unfortunately, it puts it way too much back. Do you see that?
Yeah.
So I can see this number, it says negative 4.99. That's how much it moved from the initial part right here at 0.
Oh, okay.
So here, I want to make it a little bit less, so maybe negative 4.5. So the square comes out a little bit from it.
Okay.
So that's what I want to do, is because if I have them right next to each other, the color, once I put in a color on this house, it's gonna look very, very weird. It's gonna look reddish, and then whatever house color I have. So we'll go ahead and add that. So that's our little two doors. Next, we'll go ahead and add a window.
Okay.
Like I said, it's all about imagination here. So go ahead and make it smaller again. Reduce the size. And then for the window, I want to put it right on the left side of the front door. So here I would need to lift it up. And just to have an idea of what it would look like, I'm going to put it actually on the right side of it. Just so I can see where it's going to look. If I were to drag it like this, I can see, okay, so if I were to drag it in, this is from where it would look. Something like that.
Oh, okay.
So now if I were to go to the front, I can see that I kind of put it too much. So I'll go ahead and Control C. Control C is always, in case I do something that I do not want, I can go ahead and go back to.
And what if you make a shape already, but you want to like copy it again and make it again?
Yes. Okay. So in order to do that, so let's say I have this shape right here, right? I can click Control C to copy it, and then I can go ahead and Control B. And it's gonna make it an exact copy. But in case, I can have the shape right here, and then click right here where it says copy, and then I can just click wherever I want it to be, and I can just click paste.
Oh, okay.
Those are really neat things that you can find out. And like I said, the more you mess around with the program, the more you'll be able to start seeing things like that. So let's go ahead and move it back into where I want it, to the area around here. But you see how it's sticking out a little bit too much?
Yeah.
Go ahead and click here, 27. I think it's around. It looks a little bit, still too much. But this is all about like how you guys want a perspective. 2 points. There you go. So right now it looks a little bit weird, like I said, because I have it hollow and then I have solid colors. But it's okay. The idea is to put your creativity and your imagination into it. So now, just because I want to demonstrate how it would look like, I'm gonna put color, but I cannot have red on red because it's gonna look. Yeah. So we'll go ahead and put a little bit of blue because blue is my favorite color.
Wait a minute. So the window is going to be red, but the house is gonna be blue?
Yes. No. We'll go ahead and change the colors. So that's the great thing about this. You can go ahead and change it to something else. So maybe a white.
A white window? Okay then.
It's just that you guys can go ahead and get some creativity into it. Like I said, I'm not a Picasso. But you guys can really go all out on it. I really want you guys to start thinking about it however you guys want. You guys don't have to follow my colors. You guys can change them up. You guys can even make it hollow, like I said. So let's say I want to make it where it looks like a hole, right?
Like a window does?
Yes, like a window does. You go ahead and click on, so when you bring it up, whenever you click on a shape, it'll bring up these two settings. So solid, if I were to click on solid, that will let me go ahead and pick a color. And I can even have a multicolor if I want. But that's a little bit different, a little bit hard. So, yeah. There you go. So,
awesome. So now it's transparent.
Yes. If you wanted the other one, if you were to click on hole, instead it's going to leave a hole actually in that building. But we don't want that. So you're right. Thank you for that.
No problem.
So this is a little bit something. We can go ahead and add a little roof as well. This is going to be fun because I had a little bit of hard time with this one. So what happened is, I'll tell you guys this. So I had this house like this, and then I had this on the side, and I thought, oh, it's up. But it's actually like so far away from it's so far away from the work plate.
We'll drop it so that we can see it.
Yeah.
So he thought that it was above the house in there, but then he moved to the dimension, and then he realized that it was actually just really far from the house.
Yeah. So this is what it looks like from the front, and I was like, oh, well, I just need to like mess around with it. Like it needs to be bigger. So I made it bigger, but it was so far away.
Yeah, girls, and that's why it's important that you girls are looking at your different angles whenever you put a shape in, because you never know if you're putting it in the right way, only in the front and not on the sides, and vice versa.
Yes, so it's very important that you guys go ahead and mess around with it. Also go ahead and like have an idea of how it would look like from the sides. So if I were to drag it down here, I can have an idea, okay, how much is it going to be above it? So let me move it up top. See how I'm moving it far away again?
Yeah, girls, so be sure to be patient, like these things take time, but I mean, a lot of people in real life use systems like this that do take time, and it just allows everybody to do their creativity. But obviously, whenever I first tried to make my SpongeBob, it didn't come out the best, and then eventually, after many tries, I was able to finally get it down, and I just have to be patient. So if you don't get it right, it's okay. You can stand up for a little bit, stretch maybe a little bit, and then take a deep breath, breathe out, and then come back to it.
Yes, definitely, because fun fact actually, architects spend over 24 hours on these type of programs. Just
24 a whole day
on just something as simple as just a building, or not the actual main building. Like let's say I was to make a house, right? I could spend nearly 8 hours just focusing on one window and one section of the house because of how much detail I have to put. And they struggle. Like they had so many years of experience, but they take so much. I know of a friend who's taken over what, 3 days just to build a simple house.
Wow.
And it's just because of the amount of detail that he has to put and the amount of precision that he needs to have.
Wow. So, I mean, in reality, why do we need to know this? Why are we using this program? What are we going to use it for?
Yes, of course. So 2 things that can come out of this. So one of the newest ones that we've started to see is now people are able to create stuff here on the computer. They're able to put actual sizes and everything, and then they can start printing them. I don't know if you guys have ever done 3D printing. So that's something that's new and a lot of people have begun to do. So they are now doing custom things. So let's say I want to make a mug. Something as simple as Wonder Egg over here cup. I can go ahead and put it right here in my program in Thinkercad, put the right sizes, and then from there I can go ahead and take it to a 3D printer and print it out directly like that.
So the cool thing is that printers, scientists and engineers have come up with the technology so that we can be able to not only print a picture, a flat picture, but print something just like this, like an actual cup, a 3D shape that has holes in the middle, and then that has a little handle on the side, and that we can actually grab it, and it has the dimensions of the house that we're making right now.
Yes, and then the other one, and this is the one that we've always used, is architecture. I believe I mentioned it earlier. Architecture is used to show what it's going to look like. Let's say we bought new land, right? We want to build a new mall, but we don't really want to have an idea of what it's going to look like. We want to know how much it's going to take, how much each store is going to take. We need to know everything. So we bring it into something like this, and we start designing it so we can show it to the people that are going to be constructing it. Oh, this is going to go here, this is going to go here, and we have an idea of what it's going to look like.
Like the bridges that we made last time?
Exactly, actually, yes. Exactly
Awesome.
like that. So they'll go ahead and build, let's say, a bridge, and then you'll see how it's going to look like from there.
Wow. So it's really cool seeing your pictures come to life, because obviously drawing it is one thing, but making it in a system where you can actually see it 3D, I feel like that's really, really cool. And that's one of the reasons why I really like to use this system, because you can go crazy. I've had some students that have made their own little actual houses, like from the inside, or that they've made a whole bedroom or just a bed set, something as simple as that. They've written their names down. How do you add the letters?
Yes, of course. So we'll go ahead and go to the site. We'll go ahead and click on text. And we were like, let's say we want to put text here. So right here we have the word text, but we don't really want to have text, right? So let's write something such as Wonder Girls.
Wonder Girls. Awesome. So are those the only shapes that we have?
No. So the good thing about this program is we have a lot of shapes. So we have all the way from text, we have cones, round roofs. So all these things are for you to be able to mess around with and be able to put them into whatever design you want. Not only that, but we can also go ahead and change it from basic shapes to text and numbers, characters. So let's go ahead and go to text and numbers. We have the ABC here. We have characters.
Oh, that's so cool. There are hands there.
Speaking of put chicken foot, astrobot, an ice cream cone. It's summer. We should probably have a cone.
Yeah.
So you can go ahead and put that in there.
And once again, girls, it's not you don't have to keep the color that it comes with. You can always change the color. So at the beginning page, I did see something that said scribble. What was that?
Oh yes. So scribble should be here.
So make sure you girls pause this video and then just explore around those shapes before we get started with the scribble, okay girls?
Okay, so once you click on scribble, so essentially scribble means that you're gonna be able to write whatever you want freehand. So let's say I wanna write...
Let's do a heart.
A heart, okay, so bear with me, I'm using that. Let's see how bad this comes. It's coming out good. It's coming out good. It's coming out. Now it's starting.
A lumpy heart.
It's fine. All hearts come in different shapes.
No! Well, that's okay. I say epic fail, but...
I say epic success. But the program allows you to go ahead and write however you want. Go ahead and draw however you want. So we did a heart, we could have done something like as simple as L. See, and then the nice thing about this is it goes ahead and shows you what it's gonna look like on the side.
Oh, so it makes your 2D design into a 3D design.
Exactly.
So basically, if you guys don't find the shape that you're looking for in the little shape sidebar, then I guess you can just come to Scribble and then just draw whatever you want, and then it'll turn into 3D.
Yes. So and that's the great thing. It's like you said, this program will allow you to think of anything that you want, and it will let you be able to create everything you want. So go ahead and always keep that imagination going. That's the most important thing. So let's say I already have it done. I can just click done, and there you go.
Awesome.
Shows my heart. My very bad shape heart.
Well, let's see the house again.
So okay, so we'll go ahead back into
the house with the red door.
Yes. Oops, sorry. Wow, I just had like a very bad, I forgot how to use the controls for a bit.
And girls, also, if you click on a shape, you can also use the arrows on the side to move them. It might be a little bit more frustrating because the arrows are a little bit more complicated to work with, just because they don't move the shape like wherever you exactly want it to move, but you girls are more than welcome to explore that as well and then see where it would take you. So girls, looking at this picture, I mean, are you done with, or
I'll go ahead and say,
have any other idea?
I'll go ahead and say yes, we're done.
Oh.
It is a very basic house, but I think the objective was to go ahead and teach you guys and get you guys started at the program. Like I said, this is very, very basic.
I like the Wonder Girls that he added on there.
Yeah, definitely very, very well done.
So girls, I mean, is this an epic fail or an epic success? It's really up to you. I mean, you girls can let us know, send us a message, and show us, definitely take pictures of this and show us what you girls came up with, because we are very excited to see what you came up with. I hope one of you girls tried out a castle, or maybe, I don't know, a squirrel. That would be Olaf. One of you girls should try Olaf. I really want to see that, and I'm super excited to see what you girls came up with. So how do we save it, Luis, or what do we do?
So once we're done, so let's say I'm here done, I can go ahead and click on, and then go ahead and say, okay, so I want to change the name. There you go. So I'm gonna change it into.
He pressed out of it.
So I'll go ahead and change it to Wonder Girls. And it's very important that you guys don't forget, if this is just for entertainment and for yourself, go ahead and always leave it in private. This is so you don't share with the rest of the world. And this is very important in case your parents, you might want to ask your parents if it's okay to have it public or if you want to keep it private. But usually it's preferred that you guys keep it private so you guys can enjoy it yourselves. So once we have everything, go ahead and click changes, and we can go ahead and, if I were to start a new design, I can go ahead and click on new design, and I believe we are good to go.
Awesome. So how do we go back to the home page?
Home page, yes. So we'll go ahead and click here. Yes, sorry. For some reason, I thought of 3D, actually Autodesk, yeah. So you go ahead and click on the Thinkercad, and it will go ahead and bring you back to where you were.
So whenever you girls log in once again, it's gonna take you to this page, and just to go back to the design, you can either make a new design, or if you wanna go back to the design, you can just press it and then go to tinker this, which means basically edit it, and then it'll bring you back to your design just like you left it. There's also some options on the top right corner to change the graphics of it. So then this one says blocks. It makes it look kind of like Minecraft. I don't know if you girls have played that, but yeah, it makes it look kind of like Minecraft. There's a little tree over here. And then you can also do Legos or bricks, and it makes it look like bricks. So you girls can try out whichever one you like, but yeah, that's all for today, girls. So like he said, remember to never stop the creativity, never stop thinking, never stop tinkering, and have a great day, girls. I can't wait to see you girls next time, and don't forget to show us what you girls came up with.